Good day, everybody. Labs.net. Welcome to my blank Word document. This is I'm going to present this topic. Maybe even throw in some links here. But a lot of you are out there. I know just alone in my Facebook group, we are now probably, I don't know, I'm losing track of how many people are just alone in my Facebook group. We're up to about 7,300 people in around there. So a lot of those type of people are fairly new at trading. I'm finding about 75%. Some of them may be seasoned traders. The real goal, a lot of people ask why you do trading. So let me just go ahead and start typing here. So why do trading? A lot of people for basically self-reliance, income, full-time, blah, 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 right? Some will do it for wealth building. Some will do it for retirement or all of the above, combination of them. So for me, I'm doing all three. But what needs to be understood for wealth building, everybody has absolute control of that over the long run. Obviously, with wealth building, that can obviously have better outcome for a better retirement as you get better, more stable, so on and so forth. But here is where I think people get caught up is, can you trade full time? Depending upon your age, if you're in your 20s and you live in mom and dad's basement, you can definitely do it. But if you have a family, 2 kids, let's say, white picket fence, typical statistics, to transition from, I don't know, maybe you lost your job, career transition to full-time trading, that might be a tough goal. Not saying you can't do it, but I will tell you, even if you, I mean, when you're trading, you're essentially trading like a business. And the question then becomes, obviously it's high risk. 80% of all new businesses fail. With trading, it's probably around 90%, that 99 rule I've told people. I've learned that through various realms. We have 90% of traders will fail. That's retail traders. 90% will lose 90% of their capital. And 90% will fail. 90% will lose their capital. 90 will have all of the above within 90 days. And that's pretty typical. So when you compare that against the business, here where I threw out the stat of 80% will fail, here you have higher odds of failing. So this is where I'm saying, if you're successful, cool, good on you. But the key to survive at it, even if you do fail or if you do struggle, which probably a lot of people are, hey, I'm one of them as well. The key there is to live like a pauper. Now, yes, in England, I don't even know if that's spelt right. Pauper, pauper. Maybe that's the right word. English term for poor person. And basically, you want to live off of like a cockroach. Low expenses, low monthly living. Meaning you are going to probably have to give up a lot if you're willing to go down this path, take the risk. And I said, obviously, it depends on your development where you are in your life. But I think you will have to be bare bones here until you get your winning strategy. Now, I do know, and I've been doing this now 5+ years, approaching 6 years. I'm understanding the human psyche and how the human psyche works. People's expectations are so out of whack. People want green lights. They want those kind of solutions where they just follow green lights, green arrows, sell, red arrows, so they can make lots of cash. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people desperate for that, and they'll pay big money for that. But if these trading gurus are doing so well, I would be expecting them to be front and center. What are their portfolio like? Their trading portfolio, real traders, not educators that do just that, educate, but real traders. So essentially, you want to see their portfolio. You want to see, this is right on their site. You shouldn't have to dig for it. You shouldn't have to ask for it. And the other big thing is you want it certified. You want to know that those numbers, that whoever is providing that as a trading guru, they're certified. You don't want to look at stupid images of some trading record, that proves nothing. PDFs, they can be created fictitiously. What we're looking for is we are looking for certified by lawyers, accountants, and especially if they're really good from an institutional level, one of the big four consulting firms like I think they call it EY, Ernst & Young now, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and to pull out these kind of audits every year, depending upon the size of your operation, you should be paying about $60,000 a year annually to get your certification done for your records. And I will tell you all this as well. If you are trying to run your own hedge fund, a lot of the big institutional capital allocators will be looking for not your broker records. No. They will actually call your broker. Call your broker clearinghouse, and that's who they call. Nobody else. There are only probably, I think, 4 clearinghouses in the States. So it goes to that level. There's so much crap out there, and you got to add credibility. So for a retail trader or newbie looking for anything, you should be looking for front and center portfolios on their websites. Shouldn't be asking or digging for it. And the second layer of credibility is needing it to be certified by lawyers and accountants. Preferably, if possible, if they're institutional and charging big money, go to one of the big 4, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, PwC, whoever. Okay. And when it comes to capital allocators, as I said, they will be calling your broker's clearinghouse. That's just how it is, and that's how it always been. And how do I know all this? Well, this info came right from a dude in Chicago who's very well seasoned, who's pretty well high and up in the CME, and that's what they do. Okay, so back to the little person world. How much wealth do they need? Even though I'm world renowned for doing all this. Okay, so with that in mind, you could control these two. That's actually these are your goals. That helps here. So again, wealth building, retirement, blah blah blah. But this is the tough one: self-reliance. So what do? As I said, you live like a pauper, as I call them, and you could probably get by. If you have a Rolls Royce in your driveway, you may want to get probably a bus pass or something. I mean, we're talking extreme changes. If you're used to eating filet mignon for breakfast, you might want to bring it down to cat food. But it's those sort of lifestyle changes you want. Now, when you go into building out a portfolio, you want to build it ultimately for wealth building. Here's a question for you. A lot of people fail at this. What is the goal of trading? Okay, what is the goal? What is the goal? A lot of people say, oh, the profit. Profit, number 1. Well, guess what? That's number 2. Again, I'll ask the question, what do you think number 1 reason is, and what's the goal of trading? It's not profit. That's number 2. And you're probably stumped. Professional way of calling it is capital preservation. Meaning no losses. That's your first goal. If you're going to start with 1,000, you don't want to lose that under any circumstance, under any risk. So obviously your risk, your reward is going to be totally different each and every time you put on a trade. And it also depends on market conditions and so on and so forth. So this is your number 1 goal, preservation of your capital for your trading account. Now, in order to grow it, you need to feed back your profit back into your trading account under all circumstances. So what I'm saying in here is, again, you can't sit here and say, oh, well, how much money do I need to do trading full time? Really, it's all comes down to you and how much are you willing to spend and live a month. Now, are you willing to live and can survive on, let's say, $1,500, $1,000, $2,000, depends where you live. There's a number of factors I cannot answer. You know them, but these are things that you need to take into consideration. So at the end of the day, though, you have to take all your profit and put it back into your trading account. Now, here's something like this: if you're in a casino like I was, and you start my case with a big whopping $5, okay, and you lose. In my case, one day where I was down to 18 cents left on the $5 after, well, basically losing it all. But the very last bet, when it was with Keno. I don't know if people know what Keno is. Keno? Is that right? Keno? I don't know, but it's one of like a slot machine. So I'm down to 18 cents, right? And went all the way up to $10.50 something cents, something like 58 or something. So that was the very last trade, max bet, and it ended up here. Now, what could I have done? There's two options. Well, I could have walked away with $5 in my pocket, or do I go back in and take that $5 extra and do I put it back into the casino? Because that's what kind of trading is. So in my case, my little friend said, who's pretty well, let's put it this way. He was a multi-millionaire trader, went with Refco, had a 1 million plus in his account. Okay, where did it end up? Less than $0. Why? Now, it had nothing to do with his ability as a trader. If you look up the history, maybe I should do this. Refco, a trader, financial services company. The scandal. So basically what happened was this guy, Philip R. Bennett, decided to basically take a leave of absence and basically, I think he basically walked away with, is it this amount? But you can get it in the Wikipedia here, and you can see that this company had $430 million in loss. They intermingled client money, well, basically trading accounts of their clients, with the operations of Refco. So what happened? My friend, who had $1 million in this broker, lost it all. And nothing to do with trading. It was just basically ripped off. Now, I can tell you by law that in my case, I'm with RBC Canada, Direct, I can't remember the call, Direct something. You're not protected. There's no protection from the government level if you lose this kind of money at all. So you got to be very aware of your trading broker, and it comes back to here on self-reliance and income full-time. And again, it ties back into this, capital preservation. So you have to ask yourself, how much are you willing to leave with the broker? So let's talk brokers for a second, like retail brokers in today's age, okay? So today is, and I'll do this, make sure that people watch this 5 years from now. It's Monday, August 29, 2016. So there are really only two brokers from a retail programmatic standpoint. There's only two to choose. There's Interactive Brokers and Oando. Now, again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of your self-reliance and full-time, and you want to do that, this can greatly impact your ability on how much money you can put into your broker. Because here, with Interactive Brokers, you need 10K US dollar, 10,000 US dollars. With Oando, you can start with as little as $2. And that could even be Canadian, which is basically like 5 US. Of course, I'm joking here. So this can impact your broker. So you can start with Oando if you're just going to go into FX trading and walk to the casino and do your betting. Or you could start with 10K and go with a better broker and not just trade Forex here. You can also trade things like options, futures, and stock, and the whole realm. So again, this impacts how much money and how much you need to get started. Full time, can you live off of $10,000 and live off of, let's say, 10% return each and every month off that 10,000, even if you were an all-star trader and you were compounding your trading account 10% each month? You will not be able to live off it. So the point of that I'm trying to say here is, if you're going to have 10K in your trading account, which most likely, like I will, like the rest of us, probably there's lots of people that have multi-millions in my community. So they're way farther advanced. But if you're putting in 10,000 US dollars, now you don't have to keep $10,000 with Interactive Brokers. You need $10,000 to apply, but you can then take out, I don't know, 9,000 and just leave $1,000, and that's okay. I've verified that with all the way up to a VP of Interactive Brokers. So, can you live off of again this with that goal full time off of let's say $1,000? Absolutely not. How long will it take you to get to that? Who knows? You could lose $1,000 in 2 days. So these are questions that are very difficult to answer. There's a joke of if you want to make $1 million in trading, maybe people never heard this joke before, how to make $1 million in trading. What do you think the answer is? Start with $2 million. And that's true because again, why? You have these odds against you, especially if you're starting out with zero knowledge. So at the end of the day, you need to factor in all of these important criteria in order to really fully understand how much money you really need to start with. If you're working right now, family, keep the job. Okay, keep the job. Keep, or have some steady stream of income. But nothing stopping you from trading on the side. You can set up your trades each and every day and hope for the best when you put on your trades and whatever strategy you use. And you can build, yes, wealth building and retirement from the trading. And basically, you can do the same thing with investing. I've got lots of examples I can show this year, like gold is up 28%. Bitcoin actually doubled in 3 weeks back in March, April. What else? Steel, what do you call it? Iron went up 20% in very short order. And if you know how to automate your trading, what to look for, know how to build out those algorithms and strategies, you can easily build this up very quickly. And I'm not trying to make that sound like a infomercial, because in my case, personal, this little example here that I showed with starting with $5 down to 18 cents, and then shit, I've got nothing to lose now. I've already lost $5. I'll put in 18 cents max bet, walk with 10.50. And again, that's rare, but I wouldn't recommend you doing trading with it. But on the other hand, if you are starting at 10,000 and you're going to go with, let's say, 1,000, obviously that your risk is much lower. And for me, the goal is right now is to get those strategies in place, get those algos in place to build out what? Constant profits. Even if I'm starting at $10, $100, whatever I can risk and willing to lose. But the name of the game is not about this is going back to the goal. It's not about this. I mean, it is about that. We don't want to lose this. But because my trading is going to be very low risk, and what I can afford to risk and lose, it'll be very small. And then the idea here for me as an automated trader, right here. Let me rephrase this question. What is the goal of automated trading? Okay, that's another good way of putting it. Now, we've already said profits number probably 3. What's number 2? Obviously, capital preservation. But your number 1 goal would be constant, profitable trading strategies. Okay, that's your number 1 goal when it comes to automated trading. Okay, and when you start with the small bets, $1,000, $10, whatever you're willing to put at risk, yeah, you can definitely build out a series of strategies and algorithms based on this goal, but at very, very low risk. And once you start finding those algorithms that do well, then you're off to the races, where you can go from self-reliance, full-time income, and into here. And then hopefully one day you might see me drive around in a Ferrari or a couple of Ferraris, or who knows, whatever I want. That's the goal. But again, how much money do you really need? It's really hard to say, because again, depends on who you are, right? You're a kid in the basement of your mom's apartment or house. Yeah, you can go all crazy. You got the time in the world. But if you're, I don't know, 30s, 40s with kids, that answer is going to change. So it's really up to you. But hopefully these factors really made you turn on the light bulb in your head to understand what you really need to work on. But here's the powerful thing. This is the goal I would really more focus on. Not how much money do you need trading, but this is what you really need to work on. And this has been told by some of the best traders I've ever seen and been exposed to. Your goal should be more like how much, okay, let's say you start with $1,000, even $100, okay? What should your goal be out of that $100 when you start trading? And let's call it really automated trading. I think a goal is, yeah, obviously profit, obviously capital preservation, but also a consistent profit. But we're talking about goals, like what metrics should you allow? So one of the best ones that I've come away with, and it's not really hard to do when you think about it, if you're willing to put on $10 of your $100 capital, okay, small bets we're talking, out of that, I think your goal should be 1% daily. And I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do that, because we know that the market can move on average 1% daily. Now, if you take that times, pull up my calculator. I'm hoping I actually better do it in Excel. This is the power of compounded. If you know a story of compounded interest, if you're starting at one of $10, okay, times 1 to the power, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm probably not. It's the power of 20 trading days. Of course, it doesn't work. Let me think here. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to give up on that because my math is so bad. But at the end of the day, compounded interest on that, if you did get 1% daily, would massively grow. You can do that through FX and options. Okay, those are the two asset classes I'm looking at to get the really big returns. Some of the returns I've seen are 5 times, 3 times, even 2 times. Okay, I'm not interested in 10% returns. I'm not interested in even 50% returns. I'm looking at big returns, and that comes back to here, FX and options. Okay, just want to make sure that people understand that risk reward that I'm looking at. All right, so hopefully, again, that'll help you, give you some better insight of what my goals are, and give you a better idea to answer your own questions of how much money do you need in trading. Hopefully, I'll help you out. Talk to you later.